So I came to Hawaii and I lived in the car for about 3 months. So after that, I started to flip a lot of different stuff. Like I grab things on the street and try to sell it on the Facebook market. I went to Craigslist and try to find free stuff and sell it back on Facebook. So this is what I did when I was in school.
This is Brandon Turner, and you are listening to the Average Joe Finances Podcast.
Welcome to the Average Joe Finances Podcast. Are you trying to get out of debt, invest, or just not sure where to start? Then this is the place for you. We discuss different ways to get out of the rat race and build your wealth. Join us on this wild ride to financial freedom.
Hey, welcome back to the Average Joe Finances Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Cavaggioni, and today's guest is Ray Zhang. So, Ray, super excited to have you on the show. I know we're going to talk about some awesome things regarding land flipping and also what you do as a coach for land flipping. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. It's been an honor to be here.
Yeah, the honor is all mine, and I appreciate that so much. Hey, I want to start this off the same way I start every podcast episode, and we want to know more about you. So if you could share a little bit about yourself, share your story. Who is Ray Zhang?
All right. So I came to the United States about 11 years ago. I went to Hawaii, the north part. I was studying in the university. And then I became instant homeless because I didn't know. I didn't bring much money from China because my family did their best, but there was not too much money. So I came to Hawaii and I lived in the car for about 3 months. So after that, I started to flip a lot of different stuff. Like I grab things on the street and try to sell it on the Facebook market. I went to Craigslist and try to find free stuff and sell it back on Facebook. So this is what I did when I was in school. And then after about 5 years or 6 years about hustling, I came to do land flip about 4 years ago. It's been a great journey. And last year, I should say, it's already new year, right? So last year, we did almost 900,000 profit land flip.
Okay, so that's profit, you said.
Correct. That's profit.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic, man. Okay. So let me get this straight. So you started off, you were going to school and you were like, okay, you just started flipping whatever you could. You were finding stuff for free on Craigslist. You even said something about you picked up a sink. Was that somebody had in their rubbish and stuff and they were throwing it away? And you picked up a sink and you sold that as well?
I pick up anything like a mattress. Yeah, mattress, a table, chairs, whatever they don't want.
Okay. So as you're going through this whole thing and trying to figure it out, I guess you finish up school. Right. What made you start looking at land? What was that aha moment when you were doing all this other stuff that you said, oh, I think land should be the thing I should sell?
Yeah, I actually didn't finish school. I got kicked out the first year after school because they don't want me to do any business. But what's the whole point of doing business? Why do you have to wait until you graduate? So I started to do that when I was in school. They find out, they kicked me out. And then I just flipped cars for a living for many years. And during the time I flipped cars, I tried different kinds of real estate. I don't know what's your experience in Hawaii market, but for me, I've tried to wholesale houses. I tried to do virtual wholesaling houses. It just couldn't work well for me in Hawaii. So that doesn't work so well. And then try to find a different method to do real estate. And then I find land about 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So you tried different aspects of real estate out here in Hawaii. I get it, man. It's definitely tough out here. My actual quote unquote day job right now in Hawaii is actually being a real estate agent since I retired from the Navy. So yeah, the market is pretty tough here. Even when it's good, it's a tough market, right? So
totally.
It's just, you got a lot of investors out here with big money that come out and make things pretty hard for somebody just starting out to get involved, right? But now you said something else too that caught my attention is that you were flipping cars as well. How does that work? Because I've heard of this before where people will find a car and try to sell it for a profit. But were you repairing them? What would you do to make it where you were able to make a profit?
So I think my strength is negotiation. So I can go to any car, the private sellers, I can go to them and try to get it down to very cheap price. And then I don't really do much to the car. Normally, I just vacuum it and then I'll put it back for sale. About a year ago, when I left Hawaii, I was making about $40,000 to $50,000 per month profit doing cars alone. That was very good years, I think. But right now, I try to do land full time. And land is much easier and you can do it virtually anywhere. So it's not like cars. You go to a vacation and you have to stop that. So there's no way you can flip cars when you're on vacation.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. But you said you were making 40 to 50K a month doing that. You're gonna have to teach me your ways, man. That's pretty amazing. Especially out here in Hawaii, you were doing that. I'm out here in Hawaii, so if that's something to look at, man, I'll take a look. That's pretty cool.
I actually just created a course on that. So if you're interested, I can send it your way.
Yeah, man, shoot it to me, man. That's pretty cool. Very interesting. Okay, so. Again, you pretty much flipped whatever you could, right? You were doing quite well with flipping cars. So what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna flip land instead?
Yeah, so when I was flipping cars, I do land on the side when I go back home because people won't come out to check out your car after 7 or 8 o'clock.
Where were you doing it at though? Because you were flipping the cars on Hawaii. Where were you flipping the land at?
I was doing all over the place in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Texas. Then, right now, I'm in much more different markets. But then I was in that 4 markets. And I never been to any land. I sold and bought, but I just do it virtually. After about 7 p.m., 8 p.m., when nobody come here and look at my cars, I will start to try to find deals in the mainland because in the mainland, it's still daytime, right? Try to utilize more time.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So you started flipping land and you were doing it while you were out here in Hawaii and you were in a different market. Now, things have shifted for you, right? We talked a little bit off camera about where you live at now, and now you're in Florida. So what kind of markets are you looking at right now for land?
For land right now, I'm in about 45 different markets. What do I mean by markets is counties. So I'm in 40 different counties in about 8 or 9 different states all over the place. Aside from Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Texas, I'm in North and South Carolina, Georgia, just Hawaii, Big Island, just all over the place right now.
Okay. Oh, even on Big Island too.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. A buddy of mine was telling me he'd started picking up some pieces of land and he gave me this website. I was checking it out. I think it was called Priced or something. And he was finding these different lots and he started picking up some lots in Arizona and stuff. I'm not sure what's going on with that, if he did anything with it yet or not, but I was looking at it because it was like land up for auction, which was pretty neat. Some of it was as cheap as $700, which I thought was pretty cool. So I didn't really understand the process though. So if you could walk me through, what does the process look like from start to finish when you find a lot of land that you're like, okay, this lot I think can flip. I think we can use this one. What does that process look like when you find it, purchase it, and then sell it and flip it in the future?
Right. So when we bought the land, it's actually directly from the landowner. We never go to any website or auction sites to buy land because there's a lot of competition there. And whatever for a couple $100 is not a super good land, I assume. You can maybe make money, but not that much. So right now I do land. So I will pick a county first. The market selection is the step 1. So what do you do on market selection is you want to find a market that has quite a bit of sold in the last 3 months. So I'll tell my students, you have to have at least about 40 sold for land in the past 3 months for that county. So that's the first requirement to pick a county. And after you pick a county, we have some formula we follow to make offers. I made a podcast with Joe McCall on that. You guys can search Joe McCall, Ray Zhang, and you'll find our interview. It's specifically on how to make offers. So that's basically the second step. And after you make offers, you just send out the offers to the landowner. So they will call you they either tell you to F off, right? Or you'll find me with your offer. Or second response will be they want to sell their land, right? So they either sign the offer letter or they tell you, hey, I'm ready to go ahead and sell this. And then we negotiate on top of that offer price. So we try to bring down even more price on top of the offer price. And after that, we purchase the land, we sell it back to the market listed by realtors, MLS. So that's pretty much the whole simple version of how the deal works.
Okay, yeah. So, and you actually list it with realtors on the MLS. So you're selling it for a price point high enough where you're able to afford paying the realtor as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. And now, what are you doing to reach these buyers directly?
The buyer, I don't do much. The realtor will do it. They will communicate. That's why you can go to many markets at the same time. A lot of people try to save money and try to wholesale the land, which is a big time waster. You can definitely save the realtor fee by doing that, but you cannot save time.
Like when you pick your counties that you're going to go into, right? Like you find that county where there's 40 sold in the last year. What are you doing to market to the sellers? Sorry, I said buyers. What are you doing to market to those land sellers, that the folks that you're trying to pick up those pieces of land from? What are you doing to find them?
I send a direct mail.
Okay.
In the mail has an offer letter. So that's we make offers before we send it out, and then we send out the offer letter with a price on there.
Okay, yeah. So it's very personal. It's not like one of those blanket direct mailers that you get. It's, hey, this piece of land right here that you own, we're going to offer you this much money for it. Get back in touch with us.
Yeah, definitely. That's something like that. Yeah, I tell my student, your direct mail is your little army. They kill all the non-motivated sellers. So only the people who are motivated to sell you. They either motivate to curse on you or they motivate to sell their land.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they're either going to curse you out or they're going to say, yeah, you know what, I'll sell you my land. And then even then, there's probably going to be some negotiation in there, because they might say, oh, maybe a little higher than the price you offered me or whatever. It gets your foot in the door. So absolutely. I think that's the important thing. I hear a lot of people talk about that too, like with direct mail, just for real estate in general. Like a lot of wholesalers do it. I've done it as a realtor, and I felt it, especially when you do like generic direct mailers, I felt like that was a waste of money for me. But it seems like the way you're doing it makes it very personal and speaking directly to that individual. And I think if you're doing something like that, it makes it more palatable for them to want to read it and look a little further into it. That's awesome, man. Now, throughout your land buying journey, I'm pretty sure you've encountered some crazy things, right? What is maybe one of the craziest things you've seen when purchasing a piece of land?
I have seen like a lot of crazy price I bought the land. And that happened to me when I bought and sell cars. So I'm not sure if my negotiation skill is that good, but I always got killing deals. What I mean is super cheap deals. I got a car in Hawaii for $100. I sold it for $2,500. So nobody believed that. And I bought a land oceanfront for $700. And when the owner bought it in 2001 for about $155,000, so I bought it for $700. Just I guess that's crazy. I got 2 land for free last year.
Yeah, that is a crazy number. And you say oceanfront, like where was that at? What state?
South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in a small island. You have to take the ferry in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Actually, I've heard of a couple people that are they try to buy like whole islands out there now and turn it into whatever. But that's amazing, because even with something like that, somebody could build like a secluded Airbnb or something like that. There's a lot of stuff you could do with land like that, especially on an island like that.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty amazing. Was that because the person originally bought it at that price and then someone else inherited it and they just didn't want to pay the taxes on it? Did you ever run into situations like that?
Absolutely. So in this case, for the oceanfront one, so she just wanted to claim a loss on her tax. So she said, if you can close within a week, that's yours. I said, okay, that's something I can do. Yeah. So a lot of people sell their land for different reasons. I have a lot of people doubt this because they think, oh, if they know how much their land is worth, why do they sell it for that low? They actually do. People have different reasons that you don't have. For instance, I got that 2 land for free. And one of them is a guy is so old. He's 80 years old. And he got my offer letter for $8,000 and he saw the offer price. And he still told me, hey, I don't want your money. Just come and send me the deed. Let's close it. I don't want it. Because it brought him so much pain in the past. The city gave him a fine, or there's a delinquent taxes, but not that much. I paid about $1,500 on the back taxes and everything. So I sold that land for $15,000. People get rid of their land for different reasons.
Hey everyone, Mike with Average Joe Finances. The Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, aka RubeCon, is on for 2023. It'll be May 4th through the 6th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Sheraton downtown. I'll be speaking again this year and I want to see you there. This year I'm doing 2 speaking events, one about growing your investor network through podcasting, and the other is about investing while in the military. We have some great speakers lined up, so you don't want to miss this conference. Visit averagejoefinances.com/RubeCon, REWBCON, or the link in the notes below, and use promo code Mike for discounted tickets. See you there. Attention, fellow real estate investors. I know you're tired of ineffective marketing strategies that leave your lead generation feeling like a bust. Well, I've got a great solution for you. I've teamed up with Ballpoint Marketing to bring you a fresh approach to growing your business. With their handwritten direct mail marketing, your business will stand out from the crowd. Their amazing writing machines will craft personalized messages for each of your potential clients, making a lasting impression and increasing the likelihood of them responding to your message. They even make pen smudge marks to add to the authenticity. And for those of you that are driving for dollars, one of their most popular offers are handwritten door hangers. Placed directly on the front door, these door hangers show a potential seller how serious you are. With Ballpoint Marketing, you can trust their marketing strategy will be both effective and unique, just like your real estate business. Use my coupon code AVGJOE for an exclusive discount. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grow your real estate business and generate leads. Click the link in my bio for more. Let's get back to today's episode.
Yeah, that's a little over 100x return if you think about what you had to pay for the taxes. So that's pretty amazing. It's funny though, because like when you dive a little bit deeper into some of these and you see some of the reasons that people sell, it goes to show that not every story is the same, right? Not every piece of land is always going to be the same. It's the same thing in any piece of real estate, right? What you're doing right now with your land flipping is you're helping people solve problems that they might have. I never would have thought of somebody saying, oh yeah, you know what? I'll sell my $150,000 piece of land for $700 because I get to claim this huge loss on my taxes. You know, that's probably somebody who did really well that year and they need something to lower that bill.
Absolutely. So you never know what they will do. Yeah.
All right, man. Awesome. Now, that's some of the craziest things you've seen. Now, with the car flipping, now you did mention that there was one that you bought for 100 and you sold it for 2,200. How do you find something like that? Just in general, I'm just curious. Was that like Facebook Marketplace or?
Yeah, I believe it was Craigslist by then, but I used both of them. Again, if you want the course, I can send it. And so there's two ways you can find deals. One is Facebook Marketplace, and another one is Craigslist. The first rule of finding a good deal is so you cannot just sit there and people will be like, oh, where's a good deal? Where's a good deal? So the good deal is when you find it diligently. So for example, when I flip cars, I look at my phone every 15 minutes for new listings for cars. Every time I'm just flipping the phone and there's always deals here and there, especially in Hawaii market. That's extremely easy to flip cars. Very easy. I wish I can do the same market here. I try something here. It's just not as easy because Hawaii is in general a vacation place. People stay there for a very short time. And when they leave, guess what they have to sell? They have to sell their house. Their house and the cars. And when they get there, what do they buy first? The car, right? So you can have the both market and you don't see much like a downturn sometime. Even on Christmas, I remember there was a day when I was in Hawaii, there was like a huge hurricane, whatever, nobody on the street, right? And I was living in the penthouse in Honolulu and I look down, there's absolutely no cars. So that day I sold the car. There's every day you can find a deal. There.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, step one, go find that deal. Okay. All right, Ray, I want to ask you then. So besides just the car flipping, the land flipping, obviously everything that you've done, you've been very successful at, but I know it took a lot of hard work to get there. So what would you say are your steps for success just in life in general?
Just like what do you say in the background? Work hard and hustle.
I like that.
Yeah, you got it already. And what do I mean by work hard? Work hard when you don't want to. Work hard when everyone tell you you're crazy, right? I get this all the time, especially from my wife. And you always work. Always work. Even last couple of weeks is during Christmas. So we went to Dallas and visit the in-laws. And even in there, I'm still working. I brought my mic here and attached their table. I got all my computers and I start to do content. So this is what do you mean by work hard? And but I do take a day off every week. That Sunday I have to go to church. But the rest of you work day and night. That's the basic line if you want to make it.
Yeah, I like it, man. You got to hustle and you got to work. That's awesome. You even brought your mic and stuff there with you. That's awesome. So, and you said create content. So like what kind of content are you creating? I know you have courses, right? What else are you doing? Are you like on social media anywhere, sharing stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Instagram a lot. My Instagram is called Virtual Flipland. So VIRTUAL, Virtual Flipland. And my content is more about land flipping and sometimes about car flipping, but mainly about land.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok at all?
Yeah, I just created a TikTok.
Cool. As I say, man, you got to get on that, man. TikTok is like
blowing.
the social media place right now, man.
Blowing.
So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
tell my wife, it just sometimes it's scary to look at whatever other people post. Gotta be careful. Don't drag in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for sure.
Yeah. So
Okay, right on,
yeah,
man. Listen, I want to ask you 4 questions that I ask everybody that comes on this show. I call this the
absolutely.
final round, and we can get as deep into this as you want to get into. But it's like to see how Ray reacts when he's under pressure or put in a tough
Yeah.
spot. But I'm pretty sure I know how you do that already because you're
Yeah.
crushing it right now. So if you're ready to go,
Yeah.
we'll get that party started.
All right. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Hey, first question is, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made in your investing?
The biggest mistake is you invest something you don't know. So as far as investing, that's different from doing business. Doing business is you get the money in, right? So investing is you get the money out and try to put it in a safe place. If you don't know anything about that subject, do not ever invest in there. I remember when I was about 1 year after the college, I went back to China because I flipped cars. I got like $30,000 on my pocket. So I brought that into China. In China, if you have 30,000 as a young age, so that's a very good place to be, right? And then I came to this guy. Looks super like supermodel type, and I became friends with him. I went to his company. And he showed me all these different models and the singers or whatever on the pictures. So I got super excited. I was like, how do I invest in your company? Let's make something happen, right? So I invest all that 30 grand into his company. And then he gave me a position to be in his company every single day to look at the operation. But eventually I lost that 30. The company got bankrupt because what they do is they try to recruit people in, but they never produce any TV show, any show at all. So just look nice, look shiny, but inside is like an empty shell company. So you have to know what you invest in. Be careful.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's definitely a big mistake that you've definitely learned from. Speaking of things that you've learned from, that kind of carries into this next question is, what is something that you've learned that you wish you knew when you first started?
There's a difference between what you know and what you do, right? I know it by then, but I didn't do it. So it cost me a lot of time and money. So what I made a mistake was I didn't focus. Focus is one thing every entrepreneur have to learn because by nature, entrepreneurs have different new creative ideas. So that's just entrepreneurs, right? So you cannot find a very numb and just want to work for someone else to be an entrepreneur. That's impossible. So all the people who are very creative, they can be entrepreneur. But what's the problem? They always jump around. So there's always a new idea. There's always a new shiny object. So the object is always shinier and you can earn more money in shorter time. So that's their formula, right? So be careful of that. Don't fall into that. And otherwise you will waste a lot of years of effort, money. So
yes, get over that shiny object syndrome.
absolutely.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, Ray, do you have any tips or tricks that you would recommend to someone that is just getting started today?
For land investing?
Yeah.
I would say just find a mentor and follow them. So do whatever they tell you to do, either me or someone else. So you have to make sure first that mentor has results, right? And not something just lie to you. And secondly, you have to find what they do and you have to pay him to get his time, right? I tell people free stuff is always the most expensive. All the people want to do, just go to YouTube and search and they do something. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So just find someone who have results and follow them. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of information out there for free, but it's how you apply it that you need to learn. And you're going to learn that from somebody that has the experience. That's important. I've always been a believer in coaches and mentors. I really believe that they will help you take your stuff to the next level because you're going to pay for it either way. You're either going to pay for it by paying a coach or a mentor, or you're going to pay for it by making those mistakes that you could have avoided if you had a good coach or mentor helping you along the way.
Yeah. You'll end up paying more by that way. Guaranteed.
Yeah. You'll get your master's degree for sure at the same cost. So, right. Okay, right on. Oh, okay. Final question in the final round. This is an opinion-based question, but do you have a favorite business, investing, or real estate related book or podcast or both?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot. So do you mind if I share?
You could share a couple. We won't go, let's not get out of hand.
All right, give me 20 minutes. Just kidding. But yeah,
The
so
second half of the episode.
yeah, so I love a couple books. Especially my specialty is negotiation. I can go to any markets. You can literally, you tell me, Ray, get rid of all your belongings and throw me in any city in the United States. I can survive and thrive. I can guarantee you that because of negotiation skill. So how do I become a master of a negotiator? It's a couple books. The first one is called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. So that guy is a hostage negotiator. So you can, what do I mean by never split the difference? When you negotiate with the criminal for the hostage, you cannot tell the criminal, hey, let's split half. You keep half, I'll keep the other half. So that's not going to work. So the second book is called Flip the Script. The yellow small book, not the pretty girl one. There's another girl who wrote a book called Flip the Script with her picture on it. That's not the book, right? So the yellow book is the one I talk about. And there's a third book is called Go for It, No. So very thin book, but it absolutely can change the way you talk, change the way you communicate with people. For example, if you go to a shop and that cashier just follow you around, we always have that experience, right? And they ask you, hey, do you want to buy anything? Or do you have any questions? So deep down, we feel annoyed, right? Just keep there, don't leave, and I'll do my thing, right? But Go for No tell you how do you approach to sellers, how do you approach to buyers? You say something like, hey, Mike, I'm assuming you're not interested in this course, right? So just do something like that, and you say the opposite of what you wanted to say, and then they will do the thing that you wanted them to do.
Yeah, so basically it's like saying we want to force the no out of you. Either you're going to say no or you're going to move forward.
Absolutely.
I like that. I don't think I've had that book suggested on this podcast yet, so I'm going to have to add that to my list. The other two definitely, but yeah, I've not heard of that one yet. Who's the author? Do you know?
Go for No?
Yeah.
Let me search real quick.
You should be able to find it. It's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah, it's written by this guy called Richard Fenton.
Okay.
Fenton.
Awesome. Got it. All right. And okay, what, any podcasts that you like or?
Yeah, of course yours first.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of, and for real estate, there are so many of them, the real estate disruptors. I'm going to be on the podcast in next March.
Nice.
In the Rich Dad Poor Dad. There's Wholesaling Inc. If you want to listen to how to flip houses, there's a whole bunch of them. Very good. So.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, Ray, so that's it for the final round. That's really all the questions I have for you. However, I do have one more question. It's the most important one. You shared already a little bit. We got your Instagram and stuff, but where can people find more information about you? You also have a website. What other social medias can you share with us as well?
I'm on Instagram and TikTok. The tag there is Virtual Flipland, the same, right? So Virtual Flipland, you will find me on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Hey, for all my listeners, go follow his Instagram and his TikTok. He's the real deal. Just having this small conversation here, this has just been really eye-opening. I think I might want to try flipping some cars out here in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
So, I think that's pretty awesome, man. Hey, but thank you so much for joining me and our guest, Ray Zhang. And sorry, I mispronounced it earlier. I normally ask that before we hit record, but I have a brain fog right now. I was talking with him off the air about this, but we have round 2 of COVID going through the house right now. So we're not all feeling the greatest. But thank you so much for joining us on the Average Joe Finances podcast. Go leave us a 5-star review and tell us what you liked about today's episode with Ray. Aloha from Hawaii and have a great rest of your day. Thank you for making it to the end of this episode. Greatly appreciate you being here with me today on the Average Joe Finances podcast. If you haven't done so yet, make this the episode that you go leave us a 5-star rating or subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Average Joe Finances podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Have an outstanding day.
Thanks for listening to the Average Joe Finances podcast, your source for beating debt, saving money, and investing. Learn more at averagejoefinances.com.